Good Friday morning, my dear Christian brother or sister. I hope that you're coming to the end of a wonderful week. And of course, every day that the Lord blesses us with is indeed grace. So let's be thankful for today and look forward to church on Sunday. But more than anything else, let's look forward to living our very best life in Jesus Christ. Well, the other day I was reminiscing a bit with my older brother about some dumb things we did as kids and some of the ways we entertained ourselves. Tim remembers much better because he's 5 years older than I am. With three brothers, I do remember playing a lot of really dumb games, most of which seemed to end in an argument, or worse. Anyway, we were talking and he said something that struck me as both funny and troubling at the same time. I mentioned to him that one of Landry's favorite games has always been Follow the Leader. And Landry seems to love the idea that everyone has to do what he does and somehow always makes sure to include some stuff that poor old Pop and Nana can't physically do. At which point he triumphantly declares that he is the winner. When I mentioned that to Tim, he said we could never play that game. I said, why? He said, well, because I inevitably would follow for a little while and then declare myself the leader and take off on my own, expecting others to follow. Which does sound in character if you think about it. According to Tim, that always led to a fight. But then he laughingly said this, you've never been the kind of person to just follow. You seem to have this innate need to be out in front, teaching, doing, showing. But I just think, Kevin, that you just like to be first. Guilty as charged. If there's one thing I've learned about myself in all these years is that I tend to forge ahead and go where, as my mom used to say, angels fear to tread. Even at a young age, I somehow understood the basic secret of being the leader. And that is, leaders do it first. I mean, look at Jesus, for example. Jesus did everything first. He didn't just tell folks, he led them. One of the best examples is found in John 13:12 through 17, where Jesus insists on washing the disciples' feet. They weren't happy about this because this was an unheard thing for that time. And this was a particularly nasty job. It was normally done by the lowest servants. Yet Jesus led in this area to prove a point. Starting in the 12th verse, it says, when he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. Do you understand what I've done for you? He asked. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should also wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly, I tell you, no servant is greater than the master. I nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. Then let's face it, the truth is that it's always easier to tell someone what to do than show them and lead them. I've taken a lot of classes, graduate level courses in leadership, and that applies to almost everything. But especially in just plain speaking up for the Lord. I mean, it's often easier to challenge others to do anything, especially evangelism, than to be personally involved in doing so. We'll all nod our heads and say we should, but we don't step up and go first, depending on others to take the lead on this. We don't speak up when we know we should. And, I admit that this is especially true if we find ourselves in a leadership position. One key biblical principle is that leaders must first do what they call others to do. A leader doesn't hang back, waiting to see what others are doing and then follow them. A leader's out front, demonstrating how to live, how to act. A godly leader does not conform to the status quo, but sets the standard for others to follow. A leader who follows Christ leads by example first. I learned early that as Dad used to say, you can't push a rope. When you pull the rope, it'll follow you, but if you push it, it bunches up and doesn't move forward at all. When it comes to leading people, things go much the same way. They need to follow a person who's out in front, and leading by example. Jesus, the greatest leader of all, took a towel and washed his disciples' feet. And when he finished, he said, I've set an example for you that you should do as I've done for you. That's leadership. We need to be the example. And when it comes to witnessing, leaders must be willing to do it first. I'll admit, most of my Christian life I've hung back. But as a leader, I'm called to do that. See, we are to lead the way in following Christ and in sharing Christ with others. So let me ask you some questions. Whose salvation are you regularly praying for? Who are you personally befriending and bringing to Christ? See, Jesus is depending on us to follow him as our leader and then be leaders ourselves to lead people to him. You see, in order to be a faithful follower, we must be willing to lead. And that means we have to step out and go where angels might fear to tread. I hope you have a wonderful day today. I hope you're looking forward to, as I said earlier, coming to Sunday morning worship. More than anything else, though, of course, I want you to know that I'm here should you need me. And I truly love you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.